Hello dear ones, better late than never. Come through my crisis. I'm still not 100% well, so you might notice that in my demeanour. But today I've decided I have to do this video because it's Ascension Sunday. And so happy Ascension to you all. Some will be doing it and some won't. But I do like Easter. I like Easter better than Christmas is actually. I don't know why. So I've got my Easter bonnet on today. This came by one of my online orders and I'm thinking, you're a nut. That's a dress for a 20-year-old, not a 70-year-old. Who cares? I think older people should dress in bright colours. My parents were always kind of dull browns and greys. I think you should be colourful and gay, and it's a colourful time. It should be really celebratory time. I'm in a kind of celebration, but it's still rather a big issue that I'm still working on, so I can't. Anyway, I'm getting there. Put it that way. And this feels like a bit of a breakthrough. So I wanted to mention the feminine word because of the last video. I'm extremely disappointed. I only had 20 people watch it, and I thought it was a lovely video, very profound, perhaps too profound. And I just want to say that I've been thinking about it, and maybe it's the word feminine. I shouldn't have used that word because I think men don't like it. Most men would run a mile, and it's not about feminine, it's about the opposite of masculine, which is not the same. It's something, look it up because it's a very profound statement, feminine, and it's a divine earth spirit really, because she's here, and she's in the crystals and rocks and mountains and trees. That's what I was trying to portray, not a woman in a dressing gown or a woman in a dress or whatever, although that's there as well. So I think men ought to get used to it. A lot of them really haven't accepted it and they don't want to know. So I'm sad. I'm sad about it. So I decided I wasn't going to do anymore. I'm too hurt by it really. It feels like well, it's not a rejection because you don't understand what I'm saying. So I'm a bit lost as to what I should be doing really. And I think, well, I don't think anything should be about it really. I should do what I feel, as somebody once said. And this has got a profound message in it today, which I'm going to come to in a minute. So I'm doing it for higher powers. I'm doing it for higher powers. So yeah, initially. Christmases, Easter's, me, birthdays, they're always a bit of a disaster because I'm on my own. And with celebrations, you need people, you need family, or, and a lot of people are on their own, of course. I'm very itchy. So they are on their own, and I am, and I'm used to it. But when you get something like you sit on your own on your birthday and no one, it's hard to accept, isn't it? So anyway, today is it's an essential day, and I thought, well, it's okay, it's Easter. I used to have lovely Easter times. I ought to really do a separate video when I used to go to my grandparents in Nottingham, and that was an Easter, special Easter when I was a child 50 years ago, So this is not the same, but you have to accept that's the way it is, and I'm okay about it really. I just have to put up with it. It's only a couple of days. Anyway, so I was feeling a little bit empty, a bit blue, and I got up on the Friday morning, I think it was, and there was this huge great yellow envelope on the floor in the hallway. I thought, gosh, that looks exciting, yellow envelope, it's as good as a red envelope. And so I couldn't wait to open it, and I just couldn't believe it. It was from this, I've got a friend, well, acquaintance friend, engineer, IT expert, whatever, who looks at my computer. Well, I've known him for 20 odd years, very long time. It's a kind of friendship, acquaintanceship really. We're not that close. I mean, we talk to each other, and he has my computer for me. He's about 20 years younger than me, and he recently got married. So I opened it, and he does send Christmas cards, fair enough, and I don't think he sent a birthday card, but Christmas cards, and he's very obliging. He always sends me a religious card. He knows I like religious cards, so he always sends me a religious card, which is lovely. So I opened this up, and I started to cry. I was in tears. It was so beautiful. I mean, he's obviously picked it out. It's not out of a box. It's picked out, and it's yellows and golds, and it's religious. Thinking of you at Easter. It sounded like a romantic. It's not. It's not. I should suspect that his wife chose it, but I thought, how lovely. He's never sent me a card, not that Easter card, not sort of beautiful. It felt like it was a really heartfelt I can't say religious, a spiritual message. And I haven't really seen him for about 3 or 4 months because he's been in Australia visiting somebody, and I haven't contacted him. Computer's been okay at the moment. So this was a complete shock, and I've got it on the tape. I keep looking at it. I mean, somebody cares, somebody, and he's not a close relative, not a relative really, and I just something has obviously triggered him to send this lovely card, and it's obviously where they come from. It's not from an individual, is it? He's obviously picked up a message, and I'm very, very grateful to him. So it was really special. And then later on in the day, my dad used to always send me Easter chocolate Easter eggs by post, and they always used to come. So I think, I'm missing my dad's Easter egg. But anyway, I logged on the internet, and there was little short videos, and it was one of the actors, and I can't remember his name now. He's very old now, and he was telling a story. Now I want to relate it to you, so concentrate. This is important. Put down your cup of tea. Well, it is. It hit me with a ton of bricks. Actually, It's very. It probably won't affect you, but I always think that people are like me, which is very arrogant. Well, I think with spiritual things we are alike, aren't we? So this was a story he told that when he was an actor and he was filming about the crucifixion, because you always get those films this time of year, don't you? And he was telling a story that the director said, look at the spot on the wall so that it looks as though you're looking at the Christ being crucified. And anyway, this actor went on to say that he looked at the spot on the wall, and who should appear but the Master himself, on the cross, and in crucifixion mode, and he described it in such detail, and I won't go into it now obviously, but he described it in such detail. He said that the love that emanated from the Master's eyes when this actor looked at him, and of course it wasn't even real, not this plain real, and he said he just said he sobbed. He said he had to leave the set, and it was all stopped for a moment, and as he looked at this picture of Christ on the cross, he suddenly dropped his head, and the actor knew that he had died. And at that point he said he just sobbed, he said, because it was just so real. And of course when he looked again it wasn't there. But I'm just hoping that love, I picked it up from the short when the actor was talking about it. I picked it up, and I felt, yes, I would. I would hope that would be passed on to you as I'm telling you the story, because it was very profound, and you can't really figure it out because of course it wasn't here. It was, and all those years ago, of course, it's still there. The love is still there. The love is still there. And I've always questioned the crucifixion because some of the new teachings, the Pleiadians particularly, they say it's probably a hologram. It never really happened. And I was questioning this. Did it really happen? Did it? Because there's so many different theories on it, and it's a difficult subject to talk about anyway, isn't it? But I felt that was kind of a message to me that it's a message for everybody, but you know what I mean. When you pick up these things, you feel it's a personal message. Obviously, it's as well. It's all things. It's a huge subject, isn't it? It's a bit like divine feminine. Jesus liked the feminine. He really in his disciples he had women, of course, and I was one, believe it or not. Anyway, I just wanted to pass that on. That I hope as I'm telling you the story, I'm pretty good at telling stories that people can actually. They tell me they can visualise what I'm. So I hope that you'll pick up that picture of this beautiful being. That's what he had to do. That was part of his mission. This beautiful being in the latter stages that this actor picked up, and the look on the love on his. He said, the actor said, you couldn't describe it. You couldn't describe it. So I'm hoping in some ways that would be like a nice message that you will pick up on with at least, because we're all a bit desperate for a bit of love. Well, some of you may not be, lucky you, but I mean it's a different kind of love. I don't know if I necessarily believe in relationship love, because it all starts off very beautiful, but not long afterwards, because it's not the real thing. It's infatuation, it's lust, it's whatever. I think a A real loving relationship would be the higher self, you know, the contact with your divine self. Divine self. Divine word again, you see. It would be a contact with that. That would be the real love, and I have experienced that. So it's a different love to a relationship. Relationships are more just friendships, relationships, that sort of thing. It's all sorts of reasons, but whenever I see a wedding, I know I'm very cynical. I say I'll give it a few years. I was married for 24 years, which is rather a long time. I didn't like it at all. I didn't enjoy it. I hated being married. It was very subservient. It's not nowadays, of course. The girls are very free nowadays. Someone told me the other day that my daughter, you know, the saga between my daughter and me, that she will eventually leave her husband. And I hope she does, because he's not a very nice man. And she's in her 50s now, and I think she will be free then. Free of me as well, because, you know, you marry your mother or your father, and I married my mother. In fact, that was a big breakthrough yesterday. I had a whole week of very, very challenging, almost mentally mind-losing problems. I have been concerned about my mental, you know, because you can only take so much. And I'm fortunate that I'm in the Christ mind a lot of the time, and I can call on it, you know, to lift up what's going on at the other level, because it is quite frightening. The stuff that's gone on for a lot of it, it's coming out from the subconscious, you see, and it's stuff we don't even understand. And this came to me, and I will tell you actually, because it might help somebody. And I've been battling with a lot of issues, ancient issues, not even this lifetime. And I came to, I think the other night, I found a certain remedy, homeopathic, that helps me, because I get hysterical sometimes. It's just overwhelming. And so last night, it was last night, I thought, Raphael is a fantastic healing angel. Well, they all are, of course. Michael, Metatron, all beautiful angels, Uriel. So Raphael is one that I use, because he seems to understand me psychologically. And he did point something out to me not so long ago that was very helpful. And I thought, I'll ask him to help. This was last night about 2 or 3 o'clock. And suddenly I could feel, well, something was happening. You can't, I know I felt very ill. I almost passed out, actually. So I had to go back to bed, and I was frightened to go to sleep. Oh, God, the things I go through. And this morning it came to me, what he was taking off me was the mother, my earthly mother. And very difficult time, but it all had to be. It's nobody's fault. She did her best, you know, but the energy that I picked up that was interfering with my progress, he took it away from me. I thought that was, this is why I'm doing a video, because as a thank you to him, really. And as I said before, I'm not doing it for anyone anymore. I'm just doing it because I feel I have to give out the information. People like it how they do for them hard cheese, you know. I mean, it is difficult to give out information, isn't it, when you know something, because you know it. And I think somebody did say to me many years ago, you mustn't give out stuff that's especially for you, because nobody else would understand it. It's very difficult to walk the narrow line. I mean, there are 2 masters that I follow. Maharaji, he's an Indian master. He's the top-notch master of the time, I believe. He travels the world, and some of you might know him. And he did a short video the other day, and he sent me a lovely burst of love into my heart. So I have a lot of very lovely beings with me. And there's another master called he went to the Eckancar. I've forgotten his name now. I only know his spiritual name. And he's another one that he gives talks. He's very earthly, and you can feel when he's talking, he's trying to sort of bring in the earthly essence. Maharaji doesn't. He talks, it's usually about finding yourself within and peace and all that, you know. But this other master, he talks about the everyday, brings in stories like I try to. And it is difficult because everything's got a spiritual concept, really. And of course, the more conscious you get, the more you know, and then the more you want to share, but people aren't ready for it. And I think I have to watch that. This is not an arrogant thing, it's just that I knew stuff that you are not meant to pass on even. I don't know. I mean, some of the spiritual masters really frustrate me because they know an awful lot. You can ask them anything. They won't tell you. You'll tell you. As you say, find it yourself. Anyway, darlings, on that note, I hope I've given you some thoughts, some interesting thoughts, and take the message from the beloved, because it's a message for everybody that he's got so much love for us. And I know that he never ever sees anything negative. If we're worried about something, he won't see that side. He'll just see us as the pure loving beings that we are. So take care and God bless. Bye. Come on, you silly, silly thing.